gonna get started. How's everybody doing today? Thumbs up, hopefully. Right. This is Move Your Body, Boost Your Brain. I am Mr. Malacki. I'm one of the high school teachers here at Enlightium, but I'm excited to talk to you guys today about this topic, about how moving and exercise actually helps your brain feel great, helps you learn better. Uh, So far, you guys probably know that exercise and moving around is good for your body, meaning it's good to help you get stronger, faster, maybe throw farther, whatever sports you like to do, whatever activities you like, running, jumping, doing cartwheels, whatever it is, you know how that stuff helps your body get stronger and faster. But what if I told you that all of that stuff can actually help your brain as well, can actually help make you smarter? Would you believe me? I don't know if you believe me, but if you, hopefully by the end of this, you will believe me because we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna learn about it. We're gonna put it to the test even. So when you exercise, and this is anything, again, running, jumping, dancing, even some stretching, you are helping your brain. And that's because when you exercise, your heart starts to beat faster. You've all experienced that, right? You're you go, you have to run for a little bit. And after you're done running, you can feel your heart beating faster, right? You take your pulse, it might be slow and steady. Then after some exercise, it's a lot faster. And when that happens, your heart is actually sending blood and oxygen to your brain. And your brain loves oxygen. It thrives on oxygen. It doesn't work properly without that oxygen. The more oxygen comes to your brain, the better you can focus, the better your brain will work, the better you can remember things. And this is also a pretty cool part. It creates feel-good chemicals, so it can actually put you in a better mood, makes you happier too. All of this can come from the movement and exercise. So your brain, you guys probably know a little bit about, you've learned a little bit about your brain before. There's a lot going on up there, right? And your brain's always working. Of course, that picture you see on the screen, that's not literally what your brain looks like. Think you guys know that. But that kind of shows you how there's just a lot of components always moving around up there. Always, everything's working. But then sometimes, maybe you notice after you're working on your schoolwork for a while, your brain starts to feel a little fuzzy or a little foggy, kind of like it's slowing down, right? Like you sat down, you started your work, and you're just crushing it. You're like 2 times 5, 10, no problem. 3 plus 7, 10, no problem. Easy stuff. And then you've been doing that for a while and you start to feel a little sluggish. Your brain starts to slow down and almost feel like it turned off. So why did this happen? It's not because your brain's actually turning off. It's not because you need a nap. Okay, naps are for babies. You guys are not babies. You need the opposite of that. You need to get your body moving because remember, like we said, your body moves around. What happens? You send oxygen to your brain. Now your brain will work better. So you need to wake your brain back up. So what we're going to learn a little bit about here is how to wake our brain back up just by some simple movements, some simple exercises that you can do anywhere, meaning you can do them right from where you are right now to get our brains waking up. All right, so we're gonna sample some of these. You don't have to do anything just yet. Sit tight. All of these are really simple movements that we can do right from where we are. So if you want to try them now, great. You can do that with your camera on, with your camera off, or you can save them for later. It's up to you. But the idea here is you've been working on your schoolwork for a little bit too long, maybe. You start to feel like you're getting tired. Your brain's turning off. Those simple math questions are starting to feel harder for some reason. You can try Any one of these. You could try all of these for 10 seconds each. You could try one or two of them for like 30 seconds. Anything to get you moving around. And then you sit back down, take a couple breaths, and realize, okay, I think I'm ready to get back into my schoolwork. I think my brain is turned back on. So we can try these marching in place. You guys know what that is. It's what it sounds like. You'd march in place, but just try to get your knees up high. Like if you were sticking your arms straight out, those knees should come up and touch your palms. You don't have to go really fast. You just try to get your knees up high. Arm circles, I think you know what those are. You don't even have to get out of your seat. Yeah, maybe like 10 ways, 10 rotations to the front, 10 to the back, just gets you moving, right? You can try those. Jumping jacks. Obviously, you would have to get out of your seat for that. You could do 10 jumping jacks. Maybe you can do more than that. But that'll definitely get your heart beating, get some of that oxygen back to your brain. Balancing on one leg, that doesn't even seem like exercise, but it is. Stand on two legs, lift one of them up, try and stand on one for 10 seconds or so, or as long as you can, and then you could switch to the other. Okay. That seems easy, but your brain's like, well, okay, I'm used to being on two legs. I gotta concentrate on being on one leg now. So it gets your brain, like we said, it gets your brain turned on. And then there's the silly shakeout, which is probably the most fun of all of them, which is kind of what it sounds like. It's yeah, Chesley's got it. Right, that could be you just kind of stand up and just let loose a little bit. You dance around, you shake. I'm only gonna give you a small preview of my silly shake. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing because I don't want you guys to laugh at me, but because it's maybe too silly. But but you get the idea. You stand up, you shake it out just to get yourself moving around a little bit, wiggling your legs, wiggling your arms, doing a little dance. But everybody, go ahead if you want to. And again, camera on, camera off, up to you. Go ahead, try any one of these that you want, or all of them. Each of them, you could do each of them for 10 seconds, or you could do the two that look like the best for you for about 30 seconds each. Any of them. We'll take a minute and do that, and then we'll report back. Yeah, maybe some stretching. I don't, stretching's another one. Try to grab the clouds, try to touch your toes. I think even Mr. Boyd's getting in on the action. That's good to see. Yeah, a little bit of dancing. As long as you're just check your surroundings. Don't be bumping into anything. Don't be tripping over anything. You could jog back and forth across the room if it's a clear room with no toys on the floor. But if it's a big room with no toys on the floor, try that. If not, maybe not. Let's be safe. You don't have to do too much. Marching around, get those knees up high. Okay. All right. So then we'll sit back down, return to our seat, take a couple breaths, take a few breaths, relax back into your seat. Okay. And now we're gonna think. Let's think about it. Now that we did that, now that we got our heart beating a little bit, which did what? Sent some blood and oxygen to our brains, sent some of those feel good chemicals to our brains. Let's think, how do we feel? Do you feel a little bit happier, like in a little bit of a better mood than you were before? Do you feel a little bit calmer? Maybe you were feeling stressed out before. Then you got all that out of your system. You did a silly shakeout and got all the stress out. Now your brain feels calmer. Do you feel more focused maybe? Maybe you feel all three of these. But you probably feel at least one of these things just from doing that, just from moving around a little bit. That's why that's why this is a good thing to do when you're working on your schoolwork. Periodically, you get up, you move around a little bit, and then when you sit back down, you can be more focused, meaning you can pay better attention to your work. You won't have to sit there and try to figure out what 2 times 5 is. You'll know it immediately. Does everybody think they feel at least one of these things after moving around, jumping around a little bit happier, a little bit calmer, a little more focused? At least one of them, maybe all of them. I'm seeing some heads nodding up and down. That's good. Good. So what's happening here too is it's good for us in the short term and in the long term. You're building connections in your brain. When you move around, when you exercise, it's like building better and faster roads between cities. So if you think about like a train track, if any of you have ever built a train track or like a car track, like Hot Wheels cars, maybe you like to do that, maybe you used to, maybe somebody in your family does. But if you think about putting those tracks together, the cars on there, they're kind of like your thoughts or your ideas. And if those roads aren't connected, what happens to the car or the thought or the idea? Flies right off over a cliff, it's gone. But when we build these connections and we get all the roads, all the tracks connected, those ideas and those thoughts in your head, they're flowing around more smoothly and they have more places to go. So what's happening then? The more you move around, the more you exercise, it helps you to think more clearly. It helps you to remember things better. Some people are good at memorizing things, some people not so great. This can help you to remember things better. And it can help you, like we said before, pay attention. It's not always easy to pay attention. It's not always easy to sit and read something for a long time, right? It's not always easy to pay attention to somebody like me sitting here talking and talking and talking, right? You're kind of like, oh, what's this guy even talking about? But you got to be able to pay attention because I'm saying a lot of really important stuff here. It's good stuff. You want to learn it. So just by getting up a couple minutes ago and moving around, that probably helps you pay attention to what I'm saying a little bit better. So really what this is all saying is moving and exercise helps make us smarter, which is pretty cool to think about because we knew that moving and exercise helped make us stronger and faster. But if we thought before about what makes us smarter, if I would have asked you before, how do you get smarter? You'd probably say you have to read a lot, you have to do your schoolwork, practice your math equations, listen to your teachers, listen to your parents, listen to your parents when they try to show you how to do something. And all of those things are absolutely true. All of those things do help make you smarter. But what also can help make you smarter is just moving around, getting up periodically, moving around, exercising, however you like to exercise. You will learn things all those other ways, but you'll be able to learn even more things and you'll be able to learn them even quicker if you get a lot of movement and exercise in your life. That I think is pretty cool. Also worth mentioning, anytime you exercise and afterwards, you just want to make sure and check your breath again. Make sure you're getting some steady breaths in. So this is important or helpful for a couple reasons. Because one, sometimes we want to turn our brains on. We need our brains to start working a little bit better. So we exercise, we do things like that. But sometimes we also feel like we want to maybe calm our brains, right? Sometimes you feel like you've got too much going on. That schoolwork can get hard. You got a lot to do and you start to feel a little bit overwhelmed, or you're taking a test and you know some of the stuff, but it's a hard test and now you start getting stressed out over it, or you're trying to create some artwork that's maybe that's above just maybe a stick figure. Maybe you're trying to make something really good, like a really good drawing, a really good painting, and you start to get a little bit frustrated because you're not sure what to do next. What you can do is make sure you're breathing. The other good thing about this is you can do this for sure anywhere. So all those other, the marching in place, the silly shakeout, yeah, you can probably do that at home where you are right now. A lot of you already did it. But say for some reason there's other people around, or you're in a public place, and if all of a sudden you stand up and start doing a silly shakeout, you might look kind of crazy. People might be looking at you kind of funny. So this you won't look funny at all. This is just a normal thing to do. And this is something that all types of famous singers do this, professional athletes, astronauts, people in the military, like in the Army and the Navy, they all do this. to get more oxygen to their brain so they can focus, so they can stay calm. And it's just breathing in. So we're gonna try it here. We're gonna breathe. We're gonna take 4 seconds. If you can only do 3 seconds, that's okay. We're gonna take 4 seconds to breathe in. Then we're gonna hold our breath for 4 seconds, and we're gonna breathe out for 4 seconds. We're always gonna breathe in through our nose. You'll breathe out however you want, nose or mouth. I breathe out the mouth, but in the nose. So let's try this. We're gonna breathe in for 4 seconds. Ready? Breathe in. And hold it for 4. Breathe out for 4. All right, try it one more time. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4. Breathe out for 4. Good. So we only did that 2 times there. This is another thing besides all the jumping around and the marching and all of that. This is something you can do without even having to get up. You try doing that a few times, just making sure your deep, steady breaths. That's another way to get oxygen to your brain. Think about, you guys probably figured that out by now because you know we breathe in oxygen, right? So breathing that in makes sense. It makes sense that our breath could be something to focus on. And then you'll see, you do the breathing. It's, and again, if after that, if I say, okay, happy, calm, focus, most likely you'll feel a little bit calmer, a little bit more focused, maybe even a little bit happier, maybe even a little bit of a better mood. You could feel that way after moving around. You could feel that way after doing the breathing. So far, does anybody want to tell me, because we're winding down here, we're almost done here, but anybody want to tell me, what do you think moving forward? What do you think you're going to be trying the most? The silly shakeout, the breathing, the marching, all of them. Who has a favorite so far? If you wanna say it out loud, Chesney.
My favorite one is the holding one leg for 10 seconds
Okay, yeah.
because I'm
Let me.
really good at balance.
Right, so you've got good balance. Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Right, and again, that is something that helps turn your brain back on when your brain's starting to fall asleep. Anybody else want to share their favorite so far? It could be something we didn't do. Just your favorite move, your favorite way to go and get exercise in general.
Riding a bike is a lot of fun sometimes.
I think a bike's a great one. Yeah, I used to ride my bike all the time. Before I became an old man, I used to ride my bike all the time. That's a great one. Riding your bike, stretching, playing basketball, playing baseball, playing rundown, playing tag. This could be playing a sport. It could be as simple as you doing something by yourself. Because some people love to go out and play sports, right? So that's the final my final thought here. Maybe the important thing to remember. Some people like to go out and race their friends, play basketball with their friends, play baseball and softball. Great way to get exercise. Some people don't really like playing sports all that much. This is not the kind of thing that you have to be a great athlete for. This is something that anybody can do. It can be as simple as, like we said, standing up, doing some jumping jacks, some push-ups, whatever. It's not about being in a competition. It's just about getting some movement going, exercising, getting some movement because it will help you with your schoolwork. It will help you learn more. It will help you, frankly, become smarter. Who here wants to become smarter? Yeah, I think everybody's hands up. I'm I'm one of the smartest people in the world, but I still want to be smarter than I am. Can never be too smart. So that's the idea here. It's not about a competition. It's not about being the fastest or the strongest, being the best at any of that. It's about moving around, getting some exercise. to make sure our brains are turned on, and then we can learn more, we can get more out of our schoolwork every day. Does anybody have any questions, or anybody who didn't share their favorite form of exercise want to chime in now? Feel free to. Or if you have a question. I don't see any questions. Aldo is just celebrating. I like that. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me today. Hopefully, you will put this to use the next time, whether it's today or tomorrow, the next time you're sitting there, your brain starts to turn off, and you can't even figure out what like 3 plus 2 is, which is it's 5, I think. Is it 5? Okay, it's 5. See, like my brain's turned off because I didn't do it. I didn't really do my full silly shakeout. If I had done my full silly shakeout, or if I had done some jumping jacks, maybe 5 jumping jacks, then I would have gotten that faster. But the next time you're starting to struggle, get up, get moving, take a few breaths, sit back down, and you'll see that you can get back into the groove of things and start learning a little bit better and getting a little smarter. All right. And that'll be it for now. Thanks for joining me, and I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day. Goodbye.